All right, peace and blessings, everybody. It's August the 19th, the year 2017. And somebody sent me this article, and it lines up perfectly with what we've been saying all along, and I think it's worth reading into YouTube. It's Activist Post, and I'll put the link in the description bar and the comment section. Parents catch FBI in plot to force mentally ill son to be a right-wing terrorist. By Matt Agorist. It was written a couple of days ago. It has become a near weekly occurrence. Somewhere in some state, the FBI will announce they foiled yet another terrorist plot and saved lives. However, as the data shows, the majority of these cases involved psychologically diminished patsies who've been entirely groomed, armed, and entrapped by FBI agents. Simply put, the FBI manufactures terror threats and then takes credit for stopping them. In case you didn't catch that last sentence, let me read that again because that is incredibly important to understand. There's a book called The Terror Factory written about that entire sentence right there. Simply put, the FBI manufactures terror threats and then takes credit for stopping them. Skylar Barbeau, Charles Dyer, Bryce Matthew Quellar, Schaefer Cox. The names ring a bell? While many of these cases have garnered attention and been exposed in the alternative media, a recent case out of Oklahoma sets a new low for the FBI and exposes how insidious these plots can be. Through the hundreds of foiled terror plots the FBI has busted over the years, many of them have been focused on people of Middle Eastern descent or people associated with ISIS or Al-Qaeda. This time, the case of Jerry Drake Varnell, the 23-year-old diagnosed schizophrenic accused of attempting to bomb a bank, the FBI fomented terror from a right-wing dialogue. In a June meeting with the agent, according to FBI documents, Varnell described himself as a believer in three percenter ideology, a right-wing group claiming to be committed to standing against and exposing corruption and injustice. According to federal documents, Varnell drove what he believed was a stolen van containing a 1,000-pound ammonium nitrate bomb, on Saturday morning to blow up an Oklahoma City bank. Vile indeed. However, if we backtrack just a bit to when the FBI began grooming their would-be right-wing militia terrorists, the vileness comes directly from the government. The FBI knew he was schizophrenic, Varnell's parents declared on Wednesday in an open letter bravely published by News Oklahoma. Underneath his condition, he is a sweethearted person, and we are extremely shocked that this event has happened. However, what truly has us flabbergasted is the fact that the FBI knew he was schizophrenic. The state of Oklahoma found him mentally incompetent, and we, his parents, have legal guardianship over him by the court. The documents are sealed from the public, which is why no news media outlet has been able to obtain them. The FBI clearly knew that he was schizophrenic because they have gathered every ounce of information on him. Yet they knowingly continued to groom him despite the clear immoral implications. When they began grooming him, see, the FBI and the Department of Justice won't stop because there's a few gung-ho, ambitious people like Kenneth Meade, like Scrocky, like Richard Sutherland, who want to make a name for themselves, and they're going to make a terrorist even if there is not a terrorist. When they began grooming him, according to the family, the FBI knew that Varnell was declared mentally unfit to live by himself and that he was a paranoid schizophrenic. Without their criminal informant and the FBI tactics playing mind games with this vulnerable man, the idea of him committing an act of terror would have likely never materialized. What the public should be looking at is the fact that the FBI gave our son the means to make this happen. He has no job, no money, no vehicle, and no driver's license due to the fact that he is a schizophrenic, and we, his parents, do everything we can possible to keep him safe and functional. He has suffered through countless serious, full-blown schizophrenic delusional episodes and has been put in numerous mental hospitals since he was 16 years old. The FBI came and picked him up from our home. They gave him a vehicle, gave him a fake bomb, and every means to make this happen, none of which he had access to on his own. Hold on just 1 second. Give me just 1 second. All right, sorry, there was some background noise. The parents noted during the setup they suspected something was going on, and Jerry's father told the informant to stay away from their son. However, according to the parents, the informant continued to sneak onto our residence. The FBI paid him to continue this operation, and I believe they have cleared his criminal record. Oh man, the informant needed to clear his own record, plus he was getting money. Does that sound like Gerald J.R. Olson or what? Because they knew Varnell had severe mental disabilities, the FBI should have stopped their plans to do this and immediately sought an option of hospitalization. However, they pressed on. Then you got Jerry Drake Varnell and his mental state. The FBI should have filed conspiracy on our son and have him committed to a mental institution. They should not have aided and abetted a paranoid schizophrenic to commit this act. There are many more facts that I will not make public that will support my son and the disturbing acts made by the FBI. I realize that many will say my son could have found another person to commit this act. Yet any person that has access to the materials and state of mind necessary to bomb a building would not have any need for a schizophrenic who has no resources to contribute. October 15th, 2017. Trigger event for the U.S. dollar. Clifford and Melanie Varnell, Jerry's parents, make a powerful point. No one other than the FBI would have attempted to get a schizophrenic man with nothing to contribute to do their bidding, as it would most likely be a futile effort, unless you are an FBI looking for an easy patsy to keep fear alive. FBI official. We need to keep fear alive to justify terror budget. That's an incredible title. That'll be the title for this video. FBI official. We need to keep fear alive to justify terror budget. David Steele, a 20-year Marine Corps intelligence officer, the second highest ranking civilian in the U.S. Marine Corps intelligence, and former CIA clandestine services case officer, had this to say about the most unscrupulous operations. These most unscrupulous operations. Most terrorists are false flag terrorists, or are created by our own security services in the United States. Every single terrorist incident we have had has been a false flag, or has been an informant pushed on by the FBI. In fact, we now have citizens taking out restraining orders against FBI informants that are trying to incite terrorism. We have become a lunatic asylum. Indeed, we have become a lunatic asylum. The Kaiser Report, War on Terror, Self-Leaking Ice Cream Cone. All right. This is an incredibly important concept to understand. This is an incredibly important article. This is what's going on in our country. This is how corrupt our FBI, U.S. Marshals, Department of Justice, Joint Terrorism Task Force, Counterterrorism Unit, Bureau of Prisons have become. This is how corrupt our law enforcement has become within the United States of America. You need to read this article and understand it, because it's going on all over our country.